Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 1st to the 15th, 2020 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be located in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. All right. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Virgo, December 1st to the 15th, 2020 Virgo. December 1st to the 15th, 2020 Virgo. December 1st to the 15th, 2020 Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, goodness. Yeah. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. Let's see what your chakra energy is for this time. Virgo, December 1st to the 15th, 2020 Virgo. December 1st to the 15th, 2020 Virgo. December 1st to the 15th, 2020 Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. So we have here creativity, the sacral chakra, and we're going to see how all this correlates with the tarot in just a moment. Then we have psychic development, the third eye chakra. And then we have the crown chakra and spiritual awakening. The left-hand side is the inner self. The middle is the heart, the emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what they have to say. We start off with the Eight of Wands, the Five of Swords, the World, the Nine of Cups, the Devil, which is Capricorn energy, time frame December 22nd to January 19th, the Two of Wands, the Chariot, Cancer energy, time frame June 21st to July 22nd, the Two of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. Ooh, I like that a lot. The public arena is very beautiful for you, Virgo. So you start off as a student. You're crowned by being a student, which is lovely, and you're rooted with being a queen, which is like a ruler and a kind of monarch of yourself and of your being. And in between, there are these gifts that are coming to you of knowledge and of prosperity as you are moving forward. So that's really quite amazing. Now, let's see the people for which you have to be, for who are going to aid you during this time. Virgo. Who are the people who will aid Virgo? December 1st to the 15th, 2020, Virgo. Who are the people who will aid Virgo? December 1st to the 15th, 2020, Virgo. Who are the people who will aid Virgo? December 1st to the 15th, 2020, Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. All right, so we're starting here with the Sagittarius energy, time frame November 22nd to December 21st. This is going to be a person who's highly curious, and they really do feed into your creative energy. And I do know I skipped talking about the chakra energy for just a moment. I'll get to that in just a second. Spirit's like, don't forget, and I won't. So here, there's a sense of somebody moving you towards your blessing. Like they're opening up these questions that you have had before, but might have been kind of afraid to kind of go down that path or ask those questions or embrace this truth. And what you're doing here is you're seeing this door open up, and it's like, well, why not? Why can't I walk this way? Why can't I be more me? And that's a really good question. And you're going to see yourself moving forward in an empowerment, in a sense of this is who I'm born to be. This is what I desire. And this person is opening up that door. It's not in a way that maybe you expect, but this can be through any form of media. It's going to be in a way that's like, oh wow, that's the question that like I spring off of. That's the answer that I spring off of. And then it brings you to, once again, the Cernunnos, the devil energy, which is Capricorn energy. So you have a very positive Capricorn energy in your life during this time. And this is a person who really does believe in kind of, you'll learn. It's funny to say, but Cernunnos is a spirit god, right? He's the god of the forest. And here you have kind of, it always looks like the couple from the Lovers card, right? So you have this couple coming together, and it's like good things or bad things can happen in the world. Good things and bad things can happen from love, from vulnerability, from the way that you're moving forward in your life. And Cernunnos just watches over it. It's not that he wishes you ill or he wishes you blessings. He simply is. Just like the forest, it simply is. You have to weed the gardens, and that's simply what needs to be done. And so here it is looking at things. And this is a person who's like, okay, look at things, see how you want to move forward, see where it is that you want to be. Look at things openly and honestly for yourself. They won't meddle, but they will be like, this is what it is. And that's going to be something for you, Virgo, where it's like, oh, because earth sign energy calls to earth sign energy. It's like, oh, that's how it is. I get it. And as you understand that, you have the King of Swords coming into play. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is a person who is very much like, cut through the doubts and the fears and move forward. Kind of get stuff together. He's the warrior king, so he's again not going to be a cuddler. It's this time it's kind of like you're going to be very drawn to people who don't cuddle, who sit there and like discover. That's going to be such a powerful part of you during this time to discover, to move forward in the discovery of what you desire, of what you want, of what you need, of cutting through the doubts and the fears, of seeing where it is that you stand. This person can be really blunt. They'll sit there and be like, well, there's no room for emotion in logic. And you'll be like, oh, okay, that's great, thank you. And that's how this kind of opens up to you. It's like, oh, well, yes, there might not be room for, like, if you're sitting there and being like a lawyer type person, you don't want to bring emotion into it, but you do want to bring emotion into it, in the closing arguments and the opening arguments and things like that. So you're sitting there and you're like, oh, but emotion and logic can play hand in hand, can go together in a brilliant way, and can be a beautiful tactic. And this person is showing you how they open up doors. And it's through their example. Again, these people will inspire you in any form of media. But this here, it's like the complexity of words, the complexity of human expression, the complexity of everything as we are a warrior for our truth, our power, for where we want to be within our lives. And the chakra energy that you have here, spiritual awakening and, psychic development, the crown chakra, the third eye chakra, and the sacral chakra, they're opening you up to deeper understandings. So the sacral chakra is sitting here and saying, it is time to embrace your creative side. Now, for a lot of you Virgos, it's like, oh, but I can't. I can't move forward this way, and I can't ask these questions, and I don't know, if I'm doing the right thing. And here it's saying, open the door. Open the door. The sacral chakra is where we hold a lot of the negative energy from this life and from past lives. The things that we inherited through our DNA line. It's kind of like, oh, well, the first girl in the family is never going to be happy. She always just has to take on the responsibilities. Oh, this is just how it is. Buck it up type of thing. It's like, okay. And we internalize these things. And it's like, no, it's not my truth anymore. Or we could sit there and have come to that conclusion on our own by looking at our family. It's like, oh, well, this is just our lot in life. And it's like, no, stop it. Stop it. Embrace your truth. Embrace your power. Because what this DNA line is also kind of feeding off of is your past life self. And it's the roles that you are innately inclined to take. You can call them coping mechanisms. You can call them whatever you want. But they're the routes that we are inclined to take as individuals to, sit there and say, well, this is why I can't have happiness, or this is why the creativity, the beauty that I want within my life can't come. And it's like, no, you're done with that. And it's time to embrace the creativity that you want, the passion that you want, the beauty that you want, because your third eye is opening. Psychic development comes forward. This sense of, I see things more clearly, more openly, more honestly, with greater understanding of myself and what I desire. You have this sense of having this amazing sixth sense during this time, this astounding connection with your angels and with your spirit guides. And what happens when you have this sixth sense, it can be kind of overwhelming. You can sit there and be like, oh, well, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing, or things, are moving really quickly for you. So you're looking at things, you're questioning. And here you can tell divinity, I need you just a little bit more. I need you to make some of these decisions because they're hard for me. And I don't know how I'm moving forward. And the emotion that I'm being hit with, the intensity of the world around me is just a bit much. Can you guide me forward? Because they're the ones that hold you in their hands as you move forward. And this is being able to connect with your angels and with your spirit guides so profoundly. And as you embrace this, you embrace your spiritual awakening. You embrace your crown chakra. And it's like, what is the crown that I am wearing? Because the crown chakra for me is the crown that we wear upon our heads. And it's like, this is the power that I crown myself with. This is the beauty that I crown myself with. Or this is the doubt, the fear, the negativity that I crown myself with. And it's just having a little bit of a ritual every day of putting that crown upon your head, of having it open from this beautiful velvet box and taking it and placing it on your head. But you cannot take the crown if you do not feel worthy of it. For some, it might be very hard. You open up the box and it's so beautiful and you look at it and you think, I'm not going to touch it. Like, I'll save that for special, right? I'll save that for a special occasion. I'll save that when I'm worthy enough or when things are going right enough. And then what happens? You never wear the gosh darn crown. This is your life. This is your brilliance and this is your truth. It is time to wear the crown. It is time to embrace your power and your magnificentness, because that's part of your spiritual awakening. It's like, I am enough. And for you, Virgo, that's a huge place to be. I am enough. I am enough. I am powerful enough. I am beautiful enough. I am, talented enough. I am enough to conquer this world and to be me. And so as you embrace and as you are crowned by the fact that you are enough, you start to see the world opening up to you in a very real way, in a very powerful way. And I love that you have 8 crowning you, right? And you have 9 rooting you. So you have that beautiful progression moving you forward. And here it says communication. And it's like communicating the way that change is affecting you. Communicating the fact that divinity is saying, ready or not, here it comes. Here comes the change. Here comes the passion. Here comes the power. Here comes where you need to be. And so you're kind of swept up internally in this change. And it might be that everything is staying the same. Like if people look at you and they think, oh, everything's the same, status quo, all set, all met, that's fine. And then if they saw inside of you, they would see this tornado, because yeah, that's exactly it. This tornado of emotion and ideas and a coming together, and this passion, this creativity leading you forward. And internally, you are facing a crossroads. Okay, you're at this crossroad. And here it says conflict. It's the conflict of self. The Five of Swords for me is a karmic debt, is something that has come down to us. All right, it is something that we are supposed to learn. Because have you ever been in a situation where you're like, oh my gosh, I always have to deal with these type of people, or I'm always in this situation, or, and it's so frustrating. It's so terribly frustrating. And especially when you're trying to handle it and you're sitting there and saying, all right, I'm going to stay, kind and as, positive as I can be, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes, or, there's a sense of I'll take so much and so much and so much, and then I'll just leave because it's not worth it. But you don't stand in your truth. And here with the Five of Swords, it's like stand in your truth. Stand in your truth. And don't let everybody bully you around, because you're done. You're done with being people's doormats. You're done with not standing in your voice. You're done. You're just done. And as you take your power and you say, this is my truth and this is what I stand for. This is authentically, personally, and powerfully my holistic self, my being and my beauty. And so here with the Five of Swords, it's like, this is my truth. And I stand in it. And as you stand in it, you'll have people who come up and test you. They'll be like, well, this wasn't your truth before, or you didn't act this way before. What makes you think you can now? And the Five of Swords is you're tested. You're tested most definitely. And you stand in your power. You stand in your brilliance, and the world opens. But you have to. Because, this isn't set in stone. You can sit there and say, well, you know what? That's right. You have the power and I don't. Or, you know what? That's right. I'm just going to stay quiet. Or I'm just going to kind of, go along. And it's like, no. Stand your ground. Know your truth. Know your power. And embrace it. And embrace it. And that's going to be one of the big lessons for you during this time, Virgo. And you're going to see conflicts where you sit there and you're like, oh my gosh, this is just like, and then no, oh, I'm being tested. Or when you have like this visceral reaction to it, it's like you have this intense internal reaction to something. It's like, oh, it's because I've been here before. Maybe not in this life, maybe in a past life, but I see it. I understand it. And I understand that this is a time where I'm to stand my ground, because if I do, the world opens up to me. If I do, the doors that I didn't even know were locked, they start to open. If I do, then I can move forward to places unimaginable to me before, unimaginable to the person I used to be, as I embrace my empowerment, as I embrace my emboldened self. I embrace my truth. And so the doors start to open, and things come at you fast. And it's a time where you're sitting there and you have to be you. And you might sit there and be saying, Dane, who else would I be? But we change a little bit for other people to, to have them proud of us, to, fit in. And this is saying, stand in your truth. Move forward in loving kindness. That's important. Being kind, coming from a place of love. It's not, it's very interesting. You know how Jesus said, love thy neighbor as thyself. And I would always ponder that when I was little. And even now, it's like, love thy neighbor as thyself. And then, I can't remember what I was doing. I was meditating on that, I believe. And it was like, there are all different words for love. There are all different ways for love. And, and so here isn't a form of love, simple respect. Can't you show your love for humanity by being a respectful individual? And so to kind of take that to a place of, okay, I can digest this more. Respect. Move forward in respect. And as long as you are moving forward in respect in this world, and you're trying your best, sometimes your temper will get your best of you, or you'll just be tired and overwhelmed. But if you move forward in respect, you will see that doors open. Respect for yourself, respect for your fellow human being, respect for, all the beings on this earth. You see the respect moving you, guiding you, transforming you, becoming you. And then again, you start to see even more doors start to open. You see a sense of calm and peace and prosperity within yourself starting to come. And it leads you to the Nine of Cups. It leads you to good fortune. It leads you to luck coming your way. It leads you to a sense of beauty that other people can see far more easily than you can. But it's as you embrace your holistic truth, as you embrace the power that is you, this luck starts to come. This blessing starts to come. This beauty starts to come. And you're like, oh, I didn't think this could be me. I didn't think I could move forward this way. So there's a lot of self-revelations that happen in your inner self during this time. And it greatly affects your heart, because your heart here has the devil. It's like it's chained. This is boundaries. It's like people have crossed your boundaries. You feel as if there aren't any boundaries anymore between you and the world. This is, the boundaries of the world are very distinct, and it's not where you want to be. And you're sitting there and you're looking at things and you're like, how do I move forward? How do I embrace who I am, who I want to be, what it is that I desire? And for me, the devil are the chains that we have around our necks. It's kind of like Marley in a Christmas Carol. Dickens, it chains us down. It rattles around with us when we are not moving forward in our authentic selves, okay, in our truth, okay, or we have this whole bunch of negativity piled on us. It's like those chains. And I was talking to my mom, and I was stressed out and overwhelmed, and she's like, you're way too much in the negative. She says, it's like a whole pile of snow on you, and you're just trying to get to the ground. She goes, just to start to move out that snow is backbreaking. And then to get to the ground that is then frozen because of the negativity, she's like, that's even more work. So stop and step back. And that's what I'm seeing here with you, Virgo. It's like, stop and step back. And sometimes we have to be reminded. It's like, oh, I got too much in my own head. Things became too stressful. I became too focused. It's like, okay, step back. And we just need that tap on the shoulder from somebody who can tap us on the shoulder and be like, hey, listen, step back. For me, it is always my mom who could be like, you know what, stop it. And, it can be your angels, it could be your spirit guides, it can be, a friend, a family member, whomever, a partner, it could be whomever. And you're like, oh, okay, I see. But there's a tap on your shoulder that's happening right now. And it's like, why are you chaining yourself? Why are you trying to be something you're not? Why are you looking at things? And instead of saying, I'm embracing my heart and my truth, and I'm moving forward in what I love, why are you putting these burdens on your shoulders that just don't need to be there, that are overwhelming, that make this life, which is already hard enough, even harder? Trying to fit in with what they say. Who the heck are they? And would they care about your life? Would they throw a cup of water on you if you were on fire? Here, it's like, look at your truth. Look at who you are. And then see the way that society wants you to be, or, the boxes that people want you to fit in. And say no. Because this is me. This is my brilliance. This is my beauty. This is my truth. And it starts to open up the world for you. And it makes you set your boundaries. And you can see your wisdom becomes uncaged. But you have to realize, because if a bird grows up in a cage, okay, and is very used to a cage, when the door is opened, they will not fly out, because they will not realize that the door is open. They will still think that they are restrained. And that's the same thing with us. If we do not free ourselves, and we do not know that we are freeing ourselves, even if the door is wide open, we will not walk through. And it brings us to the Two of Wands. It brings us to unity, to clarity, moving us forward. It brings us to the world opening up to us, okay, us holding the world in our hands. And it's like, oh my gosh, I can do this. You can, because you're being a student of your heart. And as you're a student of your heart, the world starts to open to you. You start to see what you love guiding you forward. And then, the big jump comes in, and it's like, oh wow, I can move forward this way, can't I? And here, what once seemed completely overwhelming, what once seemed completely, oh my gosh, it's like, oh no, I can move forward this way, can't I? I can move forward. And the world isn't this scary, terrible, heartbreaking place that's going to rip me apart. It's like, no, I can do this. And your heart starts to see it. It embraces this passion. And then your heart is the movement that guides you forward. With the Chariot energy, okay, it's like, this is what I love, this is what I desire, this is what I need, and this is where I'm going. You have the wolves right here. Okay, for me, it's really making me think of the moon card, where you have the wolf and you have the dog. So this could be, two huskies, it could be a wolf and a husky, where you have the tamed part of ourselves and we have the wild part of ourselves guiding us forward, guiding our hearts. You have the day and the night. So this would be the tamed side. This would be kind of the more wild side within ourselves. And it's moving us forward in passion and in determination and saying, this is where I need to be for me. And nothing, when you are embracing what you love and when you're being honest with yourself, nobody and nothing can stand in your way. The repeat of the number 2, this is divinity being with you, okay? This is creativity being with you. This is duality. This is partnership. This is a sense of moving things forward. And now with the 2 of Pentacles, ambition, that's what it says on the bottom. And the ambition, especially in our world, is like, I have to be able to do everything. I not only have to be a fantastic, partner, but I have to be a fantastic mother, or, and then have a fantastic job and have a fantastic this and have a fantastic that, and you can do it for the male or however you identify yourself. It's like, you just have to win at every single role that you take on. But here's the thing. They're all jobs. They all take time and effort. And it sounds terribly unromantic to say that having a partner is a job and raising children is a job and everything like that, but it is. And if you go into it thinking that it's going to be roses and sunshine every single moment of every single day, you're just setting yourself up to be disappointed. Because there are times where you're sitting there and you're like, I didn't think it could get any harder, but thank you. Thank you for proving me wrong. So here, everything that you are trying to balance, everything that you are trying to do, the first thing that needs to be balanced is you. And if other people can't see that, and if others keep on just like putting more and more and more on you, there is the real possibility that it will fall like a house of cards, because it's just too much and it cannot be sustained. So here, as you're balancing things and as you're looking at things, be open and be honest with yourself, if not with anybody else. Or with a friend or with somebody that you sit down and you have a cup of tea or coffee and you talk with. And it's like, this is my truth. Like, this is how I feel about things. How do I move forward? And why? Why do I feel like I have to balance everything? And you feel like that because our society tells us, don't worry, just be perfect. And it's like, well, okay, thank you. And here's the thing. Perfect doesn't exist. It just doesn't. We can have it in some abstract way, but there are always going to be things that we as individuals aren't good at, that we're still striving towards. And if we're sitting there saying, just be perfect, when does the perfect end? And in whose eyes do we have to be perfect? Because if we're trying to please everybody else and we forget to please ourselves, then our heart suffers. And divinity during this time is saying, do not let your heart suffer. Let the world open to you. Let yourself move forward in love and be balanced, because that's when the riches start coming in. That's when the ambition starts paying off, because you'll see that you yourself are balanced. And then you'll be like, oh, well, I can do this. And oh, I can do that. And you have to recalibrate yourself. It's kind of like having a wind-up clock, right? They're super cool and super fun. And you just need to sometimes rewind it, or reset it, because it'll lose minutes, or yeah. And so here, it's like, sometimes you just have to recalibrate things in order for you to move forward. And then we have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is playfulness. In the public arena, as you're being a student of your heart, as you're being a student of what you desire, as you're being a student of your love, remember the playfulness, remember the joy, remember the brilliance, remember the beauty. And don't forget to let that in, because there is a sense that you can become so serious that everything else falls away. And it's just one seriousness after another after another. It's like, no, be playful, be beautiful within your soul, within you, because the Ace of Swords comes in, and so does the Ace of Pentacles. And this is God's Source Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, coming in and giving you clarity and luck. And so with the sword, you cut through doubts and fears. You know where it is that you stand. You know what it is that you desire. It's like there are moments of clarity when, like the bull, it's just clear. It rings clear. It rings true. And you're like, oh, that's it, isn't it? And remember, when the clarity comes, right, with the swords, only nobility back in medieval times held swords. They were the only ones that were allowed to. Everybody else, it was illegal. And you could get killed, I believe, for it. Yes, you could. And so here, it's like, this is a noble weapon, the weapon of the mind. And it takes time to hone it. It takes, skill to wield it. But it is your mind. And so pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to what it is that you desire. Pay attention to the way that you move forward. Okay? The nonsense that you are cutting through. Because you're being forged, as a sword is forged. And your knowledge, your intellect, your understanding becomes your greatest power forward. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is your luck, which is your prosperity, which is the seeds that you are planting. And it's the bounty that comes from it. It's like, this is what I desire for my life. This is the bounty. This is the wealth that I'm calling in. The wealth of money, or what I value as much as money within my life. And divinity is bringing it. Divinity is guiding you in such a way where it's like, plant these seeds, the bounty comes. And so the mind and the earthly presence of the body and the soul come forward. And the Queen of Cups says, move forward in kindness. Embrace these gifts in kindness. Embrace who you are in kindness. And then hold these cups of knowledge, hold this bounty of wisdom to your heart and drink deeply of it. Because it opens up a road that you hadn't expected. It brings you a truth that wasn't seen. And it brings you this playfulness. It brings you this sense of, oh, wow. And if you have to step back and say, we have X amount of heartbeats in this life. What is the most important thing to me? How is it that I want those who I love and who love me to remember me? And how do I move forward? And it's not in like what I can give them. It's like monetarily. It's in, how can I be there? How can I connect soul to soul? And if we start living as respectful, soulful individuals who sit there and say, I see the God within you. Do you see the God within me? And then operate from that, well, the door is open. And that's what this world needs more of. So let's go deeper. Virgo. December 1st to the 15th, 2020, Virgo. December 1st to the 15th, 2020, Virgo. December 1st to the 15th, 2020, Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. No, that's supposed to be your subconscious. Okay. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. And then let's see the people you are to be mindful of during this time. Who are the people that Virgo is to be mindful of? December 1st to the 15th, 2020, Virgo. December 1st to the 15th, 2020, Virgo. Who are the people that Virgo is to be mindful of? December 1st to the 15th, 2020, Virgo. December 1st to the 15th, 2020, Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. So we start here with the Princess of Wands. This is a person who just feeds off of drama. They do. They have a big personality, which is fantastic, right? But it's also going to be just a bit too much. They like the fires, okay? They like to light the fires. And they like to study how people react with the fires. It's like, if I say this, what will happen? Okay, well then, if I say this, what will happen? And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm done. I'm done with this energy. You know, they just do. They like to start fires. And it's like, oh my gosh, just stop it. And it's the fires inside people. It's like getting people all riled up. And they're not doing it as skilledly as a king or a queen would. But they're pretty darn good at it, and they will manipulate emotions because of it, because they come across as astoundingly vulnerable. It's like, oh, but I need you to rescue me, or oh, I just don't understand. And it's like, oh, stop the nonsense. You know exactly what you're doing. And then we have the King of Pentacles. This is going to be somebody who sees the interconnectedness of things, but only as they pertain to them. So this is a person where you're sitting there and, earth sign energy calls to earth sign energy. So you'll feel very drawn to this person, but they're going to be looking at things in accordance to their world and their view for the world, not in accordance to anybody else's. Which, I mean, there is respect for that. And that is going to be the thing that you have here. It's like, okay, well, I can respect that. But if you can't respect the way that I'm moving forward, what is there? Where's the common ground? And that's going to be the thing where and this is through any form of media, you can find that you really connect on one level with this person. But on other levels, it's just like not at all. And then you start questioning yourself because you have this respect for this person where it's like, oh, well, they seem to have answers, but they don't have all the answers. And that's going to be something really powerful to understand. And then you have the King of Wands. This is very much like a much more skilled Princess of Wands. This is a person who isn't afraid to roll up their sleeves, kind of get their hands dirty, but they like to cause fires. They like to really build up and stoke the passion within people and get them riled up and have them, thinking this or that, or, it's kind of like only focusing on one terrible thing. And the street is fine, but like you'll only take a picture of, a garbage can on fire or something like that, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, it's horrible, but everything else is fine. That's what this person will be like. It's like, stop. And they're just so all-encompassing. They could just burn up all your energy with the intensity of theirs too. So it's not even that this person always has to be causing fires, but this person can have like this thing that they're trying to work out, and they'll just pull all the energy out of you so that they can work it out for them. So just be mindful of that. You have the Page of Wands, you have the Empress, you have the King of Swords. As we go deeper, the Ace of Cups, I love that. The Ten of Cups, which is beautiful, and the Lovers. Oh, that is really quite lovely. The Seven of Swords, the Three of Swords, and the Knight of Cups in the public arena. All right, so you're definitely taking this gift with the gifts of the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, you have the King of Swords here. So as you go deeper, you take this gift. But the Pentacles is going to be something that is all around you that you can take or can feel like, okay, it just gets pushed out just a little bit further, So just be mindful of that. You have here the Page of Wands. So as everything is moving forward and as you are facing traumas and dramas that you have faced before, you are being a student of your passion. You're being a student of what you desire, of why you get out of bed in the morning. And there are realizations that come your way and you're like, oh, okay. I see this truth. I see this fire. I see what it is that I desire. And as the world opens to you, because you're seeing this openly and honestly, it's like, oh, this is the throne I thought I lost. This is the way forward I thought could never be. This is the passion and the power that is me. And there is brilliance here, and there's beauty here, and there's complexity here. But it's finding the voice you thought was lost, finding the throne you never thought you had. And you sit in this power, and it's like, oh, this is the part of me that was missing. This is the part of me that was lost. And as you claim it, the world opens to you. And then you have the King of Swords here. It's like you become that warrior king as you embrace your blessings. It's like, this is the truth that I stand for. This is the passion that I stand for. This is the place that I want to be. You cut through doubts and fears. You're not taking anybody's nonsense anymore. And this is my truth. And that's going to be things that you find yourself saying. It's like, this is my truth. It might not be your truth, and that's cool. You can go your way, I can go mine. But this is my truth. And this is the truth that I stand in. And this is the truth that I honor. And it brings you the Ace of Cups. It's like, as the world starts to open to you, and as you deal with the chains that have held you back, divinity, God, source, spirit, however you say it, however you see it, fills your cup, and your cup runneth over. This is a healing. This is a cleansing. This is being sensitive. This is the water is washing away a lot that has been held within you. And it's like, can I move forward this way? Do I know what it is that I desire? Do I know where it is that I'm heading? And divinity's like, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. but I'm washing away the hurt and the pain and the disappointment and the anger and the upset that has held you back, that has broken your heart, that has hurt you. Now, does this mean that you don't know about it? Like that you will never feel hurt or pain again? No, it doesn't. It means that in this time, it's not defining you as it once had. Okay? There are moments where you're seeing yourself break free of it, where you're seeing yourself go deeper into your soul, go deeper into what you love, into what you want. And it brings you to, and they all live happily ever after, the Ten of Cups, which is one of my favorite cards. It is my favorite minor arcana card. And as you move forward with, and I love it because one of my favorite major arcana cards is the Empress. So it's like, as you claim this throne, you have this blessing coming over you, right? You have this happiness and this joy. And it brings you to seeing the hurt, the pain, the disappointment that we lock away. And we say, oh no, we couldn't possibly let this hurt, be a part of us, or, give it a voice, or not run away from it. It's like, oh yes, you can. Stop running and see it. Instead of locking it away in the closet, it's like, it's time that the love comes in, that the passion, that the beauty, that the gloriousness of life comes in. And it doesn't have to be having the biggest house or the fanciest car or anything like that. It is being comfortable. It is being prosperous. It is being bountiful. And that moves you forward. And you see your heart moving forward in the beauty that is your heart and in the power that is this healing. And then, as you go deeper into this, into your emotional self, it's all about the heart. It's like, if your mind and your heart do not have an open conversation, if you do not, sit there and say, logically, how do I feel? Emotionally, how do I feel? How do I get to the middle ground here? How do I respect both sides of me? You will not feel complete during this time. And with the Lovers, here, he has his heart and he has the person that is on his heart. It's like, who do you love? Is it just one person? Is it more than one person? Okay? Is it a face of somebody who has passed? Is it a face of your angels? What is it that drives your heart, that moves you forward in love and in beauty and in brilliance? When you look at them, is it like, this is what I'm doing? This is why I'm doing it. This is more important than anything else. That's what the Lovers are about. And yes, we think, oh, romantic love. And romantic love is great. But there's more to life than just that. It is the love that we have for ourselves. It is the love that we have for our world. It is what we love coming forward. And it's saying it's time to live in love instead of just, what needs to be done and everything that we're trying to balance to have everybody, understand how hard we work and how much we do. It's like, if we start living in love, it's like there's so much more. And people start getting jealous. Seriously. Because everybody is trying to outdo everybody else. But they forget about happiness. And it's like, call that happiness in. And as that happiness gets called in, it leads you to the Seven of Swords. It leads you to taking what's important, leaving behind what isn't. You are a student of what you love. You are a student of your mind, of what it is that you desire, of this knowledge, of this truth that comes, and you walk forward. And people will sit there and say, why are you being sneaky? And it's like, I don't have to tell you everything. All right? I'm not being sneaky. I'm being authentically me. And it's a lot of soul searching. It's a lot of deeper understanding that has to come. And then I move forward. And then I move into my place, into my rightful space within my life, within my soul. And as I do this, you will find that the blessings come in, but you have to. You have to look at the hurt, the pain, the disappointment that holds you back, the negative thoughts that come out when you think, okay, I can do this. I can move forward this way. And then your head starts saying, oh, can you? Can you? Is this just a fluke? Is this a mistake? Are you really going to be successful because, your father said, your mother said, your ex said, or, teachers, grandparents, whomever said that you couldn't. And that became part of you. Your friend, told you off. That became part of you. And it's like, oh no. Oh no. I am more than the sum of their pain that they spoke over me. I am more than the sum of my pain that I've been forged in during this life. We sit there and we think about things. And just to think like how we internalize things in our mind works. I'll use myself as an example. And you guys know, if you've followed me, I was a bit deaf and a bit blind as a child. And then when I had operations that, rectified that, I found out that I was severely dyslexic, which meant that I couldn't read for an astoundingly long time. And it was so hard. And I internalized that as there was something wrong with me. There was always a brokenness within me. And there would just always be a brokenness. I would never be as good as the worst normal person. I would just never measure up to them. And that was a pain that I carried around for a really, really, really long time, most of my life. Until I realized, oh no. And either, you realize it through self-exploration, but there's a sense here, and it doesn't have to be, and why I say this is that it doesn't have to be something that is logical, the pain that we carry around with us. It doesn't have to be something where you sit there and you say, oh, that was the fight that I had, or those were the words that were spoken. It could be something that we were born with that made us different from everybody else. And that difference made us feel bad, made us feel lacking. And I don't know how else to say that. Then Spirit's like, share what you have been through. And it's like, okay, I will. And it's like, here, it's looking at things, and it's looking at the hurts, the pains, what has been the tempest for us, the storm that we have walked through. And we hide that away. It's like, oh no, nobody can know that I walked through a storm, because everybody's life is perfect. We have the Instagram world, we have the, Facebook world, where all you post are the pretty things, the filtered things. And it's like, no, nobody's life is perfect. And if anybody tells you, oh, my life is perfect, they're absolutely lying. They're absolutely lying. Here's looking at the pain. And instead of saying, why did I have to go through this? It's looking at it. And it might be saying, why did I have to go through this? But I have a legion of angels behind me that are guiding me to more. And I have been forged in a way that brings me prosperity, in a way that I am now a defender of the Queen, of my kindness, of the Queen of Cups, of my kindness, of my grace, of my beauty, of my abundance. And I will forever defend the heart of me. Let's see what your spirit animals have to say. Virgo, December 1st to the 15th, 2020, Virgo. December 1st to the 15th, 2020, Virgo. December 1st to the 15th, 2020, Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Ooh, goodness. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. So we have here the koala spirit. Spirit has a plan. Sometimes that's so hard. How is that so hard to understand? Spirit has a plan. There's a greater plan for us. It's like, understand that. Divinity is guiding you. It's in divine time, not our time. And Spirit has a plan. Trust in that plan. Know that it holds you. It protects you. It does, even when it doesn't feel like it. And then we have the seahorse spirit. Watch and wait. Watch and wait. You will see that plan. Watch and wait. You will see doors opening that you never thought could be open. Watch and wait as the beauty comes forward. And then we have the electric eel spirit. Bring your ideas to life. It is time. It is time to set your ideas on fire. It's time to move in the spark of your brilliance, of your soul, of yourself. Bring your ideas to life. Instead of keeping them hidden away, bring them into the light of day. And a lot of times we sit there and we don't want to, because, the world will sully it. They will misinterpret it. They will tell us that it's wrong, everything like that. But it's saying here, bring them forward. Bring your ideas to life. And start to breathe existence into them on this world, because dreams should be lived instead of just simply thought about. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the wolf spirit. Turn knowledge into wisdom. And that is what you're doing during this time. You're turning all the knowledge that you have gathered, all the understanding that has been a part of you, into the wisdom that moves you forward, into the wisdom that is your truth, into the wisdom that you live by. It brings you then into your subconscious chakra message. which is clarity, the third eye chakra. You are moving forward in a deeper sense of clarity of who you are, of what you desire, of where you're heading, of where you're headed, and why you're heading there. And the clarity comes, and you're like, oh, is that it? Your subconscious person message is the Queen of Swords. And now you have the King and the Queen of Swords in a very positive impact in your life. This could be soulmate connection. This can be, somebody that you meet where it could be, they could be a partnership of one form or another, and they play off each other. Their minds are brilliant. And this is a sense where your mind here during this time is being tested, is moving you forward. You're seeing things in a way that you hadn't seen them before. You didn't think it was possible. And you're like, oh, now I get it. And there is a sense of haughtiness around this, because whenever I looked at the Queen of Swords, when I first got this deck, I thought, oh, I don't like her. Because a lot of times in a lot of tarot decks, they depict the Queen and the King of Swords negatively. And it's like, that's cool. But if you equate them to the tarot, it's not quite as cool. And so here, I thought, oh, they made her haughty because she's sitting so straight and her nose is kind of in the air. And then one day I was outside and the wind just went against me. And I kind of sat just like this. And the Queen of Swords from this deck came into my mind. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's it. It's not that she's being haughty. It's that she's fully embracing her element. And it's actually changing the way that she's perceived. And so here, that is what you're doing too. You're fully embracing your elemental self, your holistic self, your powerful self. And it's changing the way that people perceive you. It moves you to your subconscious tarot message, which is the Death card, which is rebirth. The dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new, a resurrection of soul and desire and passion and purpose and clarity. And the Death card, of course, is Scorpio energy, time frame October 23rd to November 21st. There we go. But you are being reborn. And your soul feels it's like, I'm rising from the ashes. I'm so much more than what people thought, or where people thought I should be, or how people thought I should be. It's like, there is more here. There is more here than meets the eye. And you are being reborn into that power. And there can be a sense of mourning around it, where your soul is saying, oh, but I liked how it once was. But there is something more here. There is something more here, and there's a reason why you are reborn. And why we as human beings know, as Plato said, all is flux and nothing stays the same. Everything is constantly changing, including ourselves. And subconsciously, you're embracing that. And it brings you to your subconscious going even deeper into the card that stayed stuck to my desk, which is the sun. Divinity's like, no, listen, the sun is yours, Virgo. Happiness, joy, prosperity, success, bounty, brilliance. The happiest card in the whole entire deck is yours to walk in and to embrace. Don't let anybody dim your light. As you are reborn in happiness. Will people want to take you by eyes because they're jealous? Yes. Do they get to? No. Stand in your truth and stand in your glory. All right, Virgo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we move forward into our bounty, into our heart's truth. As you move forward, Virgo, embraced by love and absolutely transformed by it. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo.